Bridget Michelle here. Thank you for returning. So today I want to talk about something really fun. Magic. Magic with a K, not a C. So I'm not talking about stage magic. I'm talking more about ritual or ceremonial magic. And what I'm going to do is give you some good book titles to start with. And you can use this whether or not you're a beginner or you're a serious practitioner. The truth is that a lot of us are not as serious of a practitioner as you really have to be to reach that deep, really deep level of concentration and silence that is necessary um, to really, really perform high magic. You would have to actually sleep very little, eat even less, and it just, like I said, in this modern day and age, it's really hard to get that kind of solitary time where there's nobody around and there's no noise, no cell phone, no TV, and these things are hard to do. But we can take little steps every day. It's a couple of disclaimers. First, I'm Catholic. So, yes, I believe in Jesus. I think a Savior came down. I think he came several times in several different forms and, to save us and teach us. And I also believe in God and the universe. And I think God gives us tools to make our lives better. So, whether it's incense or gemstones, here's some amethyst, that's probably my favorite. Or again, our words, our thoughts are just very powerful. And so these are some things. Also, another disclaimer: I don't believe in harming others or doing anything evil to try to get your way. When you send out that kind of selfish, negative energy, that's what you're going to get in return. I'll have to actually cut this video into two just to make it fit, I think. But anyway, I'm going to jump right into it. The first book, and I can't believe I'm starting with one that's so modern, but it's actually called The Book of Lies. This was edited by Richard Metzger. A lot of good articles in here. I started with this book first because one of the articles actually breaks down what I have believed for years and years, and that is that science and magic are the same thing. So a lot of things are proving in quantum physics nowadays. Look up the term quantum entanglement. It's the same thing when you hear a spiritualist say we are all connected. It means the same thing. So that talks about that and just how to start with magic, how to experiment and try different things. There are also some good articles on Aleister Crowley. Yeah, we can't talk about magic and not bring him up. Anton LaVey, Cameron, Jack Parsons, and the founder of Scientology. Also, a really good article on witchcraft and Wicca and the difference between the two. That's some pretty good stuff. And just another quick note on Aleister Crowley. I think that when you send out that kind of negative energy where you don't care about anybody but yourself, I mean, he's called himself the beast. This is not someone I necessarily want to emulate. And no, I don't want to offend any of his fans out there. He did a lot for magic, and he got really far. I think, for, of course, to have that kind of wealth and where he can devote that kind of time and devote his entire body to the craft, it's like, yeah, he could do that. But I think the fact that he cared so little for other people, I mean, this is why he died broke, penniless, alone, on drugs. I mean, he died a painful death. But a lot of his techniques and whatnot is something, yeah, we could look into that. But that's the first book. Another little quick note is that I believe the Council of Nicaea, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but when they came up with the books of the Bible, they left a lot out. So I think it's up to us to seek that knowledge and seek the truth and try to discern for ourselves what we believe. Okay, second book, and now I'm going back. I'm going back in time a little bit. The 3 Books of Occult Philosophy by Cornelius Agrippa. Can you see that? This one was edited and annotated by Donald Tyson. It talks about astrology and magic squares and symbology and, as above, so below. Just some really good principles in here to start with. This was written in the 16th century, around the 1500s, basically. Now, if you'll notice, I didn't include the 4th book of Agrippa, and that's because there are some rumors that may not have been written by him, but the first three books we know were written by him, so that's a good start there. The Picatrix actually was drawn from that in the three books of occult, so this influenced that heavily. Again, we're talking about astrology, and the language is so deep. Kind of hard to get into it. I'm still getting into it. There's some symbology here. Astrology, very good book to have. We've got the Black Poulet, good storytelling and philosophy. Also, the Notary Art of Solomon, Ars Notoria. It's another good one. Of course, cannot forget the Geshe, the Lesser Key of Solomon. And I didn't mention, actually, I would say this book first before the others is the Introduction to Magick. So when I talk about not sleeping and, how to reach a deep level of concentration and using mirrors to perform rituals, that a lot of what I'm talking about comes from this book. This was written by Julius Evola. Really deep guy. He was in the UR group, and along with some other key figures, just excellent. I really can't even put into words, but this is a good start. Also, we've got Llewellyn's Herbal Magic. This one's from 2014. It's one of my favorites. Crystal Gem and Metal Magic, written by Scott Cunningham. So this talks about, amethyst is for peace, and tiger's eye for money, rose quartz for love. Some really good principles in that. Now, the black arts. Again, I don't believe in doing any evil to try to get your way, but this has some good references to numerology and gematria and just some forgotten knowledge in here. This one was written by Richard Cavendish, so that's also a very good book. Now, I'm going to get a little bit more into science because I want to talk about these things that have, again, where I say science and magic are the same thing. This is where I'm getting it from. So we've got cosmology of consciousness, and that actually talks about quantum physics and the neuroscience of the mind. We're kind of connecting space and the mind, and this is it's really fascinating. It was edited by a few different people, but one of them was Rudolph Childs and Sir Roger Penrose. Very good book. Of course, Michio Kaku, Physics of the Future. So we're talking about some future technologies in here. You'll see where magic and science tie in. Cannot forget God is Not Dead, Amit Goswami. Again, we're talking about some really good physics principles. Look up quantum entanglement, like I said. Also, the holographic universe, Michael Talbot. This is basically the paranormal abilities of the mind, the latest frontiers that we have in physics, and forbidden science. So if you like John Anthony West and Robert Schoch, that whole genre, that a lot of the articles are from them, and it was edited by J. Douglas Kenyon. Okay, so I'm going to end the first video here now, and I'm going to come back and do a second video in just a moment.